People, I've started to wonder why NXT is pretty much my favorite show almost of all of WWE program every single week. But that's beside the point. What's up, everybody? DJ Cass, and of course, I am back here exclusively to PWFempire.com to give you the NXT rundown. Tonight, we did have a bit of a foreshadowing for what we are going to be seeing at NXT TakeOver War Games. And people, here's the thing. I know that the spoilers got leaked. I know what everything is going to be shaping up to be. But it's the thing about it is, I still want to watch the weekly program because they still provide excellent, in my opinion, good wrestling quality every single week on NXT. Great story time. But yeah, tonight, definitely we had the triple threat match to determine one of the qualifiers for the NXT women's title match when we get to Houston. Also, Johnny Gargano and Cien Alma's clash in an NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 rematch. The Velveteen Dream was in action. So yeah, I'm going to get into that and everything tonight here on the NXT Rundown. Of course, everybody, we kicked off NXT tonight with the first of a few qualifying matches we'll be getting on NXT television. This was the triple threat match to determine one of the challengers for the NXT or the vacant NXT Women's Championship when we get to NXT TakeOver War Games in Houston to join Cien. And the opponents were in this triple threat match were Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross, and one Liv Morgan. And let me just say this first of all. What was up with the crowd? Seriously, I don't know about you guys, but it's throughout this match, it was the crowd just wasn't reacting to either the in-ring aspect of this match or not even the chaos. It really was very weird. They pretty much sit on their hands. It really wasn't until the triple the three people that do the suplex off the top rope that barely got a reaction. I mean, they got hand claps and gestures, but it wasn't until this Diana Argante, who was with Undisputed, so all of a sudden came out and had this vicious look on her face as he was about to do something, and all she did was just come out and just cost Nikki Cross the match. Of course, we definitely don't know who this woman is. But even when Undisputed was up on the apron, they didn't even get any kind of reaction or pop. So it was I felt in this type of segment, they did everything right. It was just the way the crowd wasn't reacting to anything. I actually thought it really offended the whole thing because honestly, this should have been a big deal because Nikki Cross was actually pinned in this match. Now, me personally, I honestly would have had just Liv Morgan take the fall because Nikki Cross is still a valuable asset in that NXT Women's division. No offense to Liv Morgan. I mean, she's good for what her role is, in my opinion, but it's why'd you have to pin Nikki Cross? But yes, Peyton Royce did get the win. So Peyton Royce, if we're going off what I've seen, she is joining Cien in the Fatal 4-Way to crown a new NXT Women's Champion. So good for her, though. Now, up next that we have on NXT. Now, this one I actually have very mixed emotions on because we had the Velveteen Dream going one-on-one with the re-debuting Lio Rush, who was supposed to debut last week against Aleister Black, but Velveteen Dream, of course, attacked him. And, of course, this match was pretty much showcased on how Velveteen's going to get Aleister Black to say his name. Now, people, you know how I just a few minutes ago got on the Full Sail crowd for not making any noise or getting invested into that triple threat qualifying match. But when Lio Rush came out, they made some noise. But when he started to do his reversals, because Velveteen Dream kept dodging him in various ways, they popped like crazy. And Lio Rush, from the little bits and pieces we got to see him in, of course, him being a former CZW champion, one of the top prospect winners of the Ring of Honor top prospect tournament in 2015. Yeah, Lio Rush has definitely lived up to every aspect that he had did on the independent scene. It's just a shame that he had to be the sacrificial lamb here for one Velveteen Dream of all people who hasn't even really been here that long. And he just recently got repackaged from the Patrick Clark character to the Velveteen Dream. So I did think it was just a bit of a miscue because it's I was already not a big fan of them using Lio Rush to attack, for him be the sacrificial lamb, to get that beat down from Velveteen last week. And it was while he did get to showcase his skills a bit in this match, it was he still came off looking like a chump in my opinion. So As far as the way I'm seeing Leo Rush right now, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but they had to give Velveteen Dream the win, I guess. But anybody else could have been put in this spot. You don't have to sacrifice Leo Rush. Sorry, people. That was like my one of my mini rants there, but yeah, they can't be sacrificing Leo Rush here. But yeah, up next on NXT, it was one Lars Sullivan, who you guys have recently heard. I've turned the corner around after that Oni Lorcan match. Again, he took on Danny Burch. Um, this match was definitely nowhere near close to the Oni Lorcan match, which is kind of shocking considering they're doing the tag team thing. But this really was more or less a squash. Like Danny Burch definitely looked more of a chump than Oni Lorcan did. But yeah, Lars Sullivan pretty much just got the win here in pretty dominant fashion. Like I said, I've pretty much turned the corner on Lars Sullivan since the Oni Lorcan match, and I am impressed with him every single week. The only aspect I do not like what they're doing with him is why the hell is he talking? Seriously, he's big. He looks like a monster. He should not be talking. That's literally the only gripe. But other than that, I'm on the Lars Sullivan bandwagon. Also, something else that I'm definitely behind, of course, we had NXT tag team action. It was one Street Profits, the team of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, taking on two NXT enhancement talents. I mean, this is another squash, pretty much, is how the Street Profits get a win. However, I will say this. These guys are so fucking fantastic, and I'm getting sick and tired of people comparing them to freaking Crime Time. People, these guys are nothing like Crime Time. The crowd, while they definitely want to cheer them. Montez Ford and Angela Dawkins make sure that they interact with the crowd. Like, one of my favorite parts throughout this whole thing, and it wasn't even during the match, it was afterwards when Montez Ford went over to the announcer and he just grabbed the microphone, but he did it in such a flamboyant, like, way. They just came off, like, so funny. And just Montez Ford, just him going, like, nuts and bad shit. just being all crazy and whatnot. That was so entertaining. Like, these guys are great. And people, if you go on their NXT shop page on WWEshop.com, the Street Profits already have a plastic cup for sale. That's how good these guys are. They got a plastic cup over. Now, I am interested to see because while they are getting momentum, I do want to see them not get a championship match, definitely, but I do want to see them like really start pursuing NXT tag team goal, which is really a lot of the teams that I do want to see in NXT, like really do, but because we're getting to the point right now where Sanity, while they are the champions, they're so busy with the Undisputed Era that I don't want the championships to get left out in the way. So I would like to hear mention of the tag team title soon. Of course, as we head to next week on NXT, we are told of two matchups. One, it will be the second qualifying triple threat match for the NXT Vacant Women's Championship when we get to Houston. But this time, the triple threat match will include Ruby Riott, Ember Moon, and one Sonya Deville. So hopefully the crowd's more active for that one than they were for this one tonight. But yeah. And also, it's going to be the six-man tag we've all been wanting to see. It'll be Sanity's Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane taking on the Undisputed Era of Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. So that's going to be fun to watch next week. And also, an exclusive interview featuring the NXT champion Drew McIntyre. So yeah, next week's show is pretty stacked. Of course, people, it's main event time here on NXT. The NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 rematch between one Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, going one-on-one with Andrade Cien with Selena Vega at ringside. And this match was already hard-hitting from, just from, the first outset of this matchup. The Brooklyn match was awesome. It definitely surpassed expectations, but this match tonight was very good. The strikes in this matchup were so physical. The one move where I think Johnny Gargano was going to the ropes, but then Alma's countered with a back elbow. And then it was palm strikes, chop, sounded like a gunshot went off. And then Johnny Gargano hits a kick. He literally falls on the cover, and Andrade almost kicked out. And then, they're at one point, both men are on the top rope, and it looks like they're about to go for a superplex, and then Andrade always tries to go for a hammerlock DDT, and thank goodness he didn't do that, but Johnny Gargano tries to do a flip powerbomb off that. Andrade always does a flip, and then Gargano with one of the best clotheslines I've ever seen takes him inside out where they do their very best to make the clothesline look good. And it was just like back and forth, back and forth. There was a crucifix at one point, which looked a little rough, but when you're in a fast-paced match like this, I guess that kind of shows his bound. Like this was just such a fantastic match. And honestly, when we got to this match in Brooklyn, again, I just said in my review I didn't know what to expect from it. This time I did, but they surpassed expectations. And Andrade almost got the win. And according to what I've been hearing, quote unquote, it's good that he got the win. And there was actually, I can't believe I'm about to pass this part, but Selena Vega, she had to be very careful here, in my opinion, because she had the DIY shirt. At first, I'm like, oh my God, like this can either go very good or very bad, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Andrade Almas got the win. That was the good move. So as far as tonight's episode of NXT tonight, guys, I mean, I watched this. Honestly, if I had to tell you, just watch this match because, wow, everything I didn't think was so bad, you literally could skip everything else because they didn't really make the triple threat qualifying match really mean anything, mainly because the crowd was dead silent. Leo Rush, I mean, like, they're still iffy on him. I will say, watch the Street Profit stuff. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, if I had to say anything you should watch tonight, it's definitely the main event. Alright guys, that is it for my end here on my NXT rundown. I'm going to get this uploaded to the site. I will be back here next week and I will see you around later days.